Hey guys, my name is Ray Lamb. I just finished doing the RAT for the third time. This is the first time that I've done it from west to east and the first time I've done it on single speed. I had a lot of interest online as into what I carried and why and how I set the bike up and a little bit about the route. So I'm going to try to go over those things kind of briefly for you. And maybe it'll help some of you guys that are going to do it in October, maybe not. So first and foremost, the way I set the bike up is unique, a little different than most people would do. I learned a lot on the Tour Divide in 2016. Finishing that race was a real experience for me, but it helped me a lot prepare for doing this race and just gave me some good ideas about what I needed and what I didn't need over an extended period of time on the bike. First, I chose to go with a steel frame. I didn't want anything to happen, fall down, get by a car or something like that, and the frame not hold up. So I went with a steel frame, a boost frame from Spot, a rocker, which is a really good frame. I also chose to go with a single speed. Much simpler, not a lot of things go wrong, no derailleur or something like that. And even simpler than that, I went with the Gates belt drive. So I really had no chain parts to carry or anything. I used a Brooks saddle, which is the first time I've ever made a long race without having a big problem. So I was extremely pleased with this. And I used the Next carbon handlebars, Next carbon crankset, and then all my parts like the bottom bracket with Chris King, the headset Chris King, pretty much built the bike out in such a way that I didn't think I would have any problems with it no matter what happened. A lot of people, they're not big on Chris King parts and all, but I've had no problem with them for a long period of time, so that's what I used. I used an aluminum Thompson seat post because I knew I was going to carry a seat bag. I normally have a carbon seat post in here, but I felt like that might be a little bit more pressure on that bag than it needed to be. XTR Shimano trail brakes always work great for me, and especially on the RAT. The RAT doesn't have a lot of really terrible terrain, so I wasn't worried about breaking the cable or something like that. On the Divide, I used actual cable actuated brakes, so I could replace one if I needed to. But I didn't feel like on the RAT I would need to do that. Wheels and tires, I use Stan's no tube tires, Crest and Arch. I know the tires don't match, the wheels don't match, but I use a Sun hub on the front, so this wheel actually goes on my Salsa Cutthroat. I use Chris King hubs on the back, and the big thing is I use Terravale spar with the tires. A lot of people laugh at me about that. Everybody's about weight. I'm going to tell you right now, weight means nothing. To me, on a long distance race, unless you're setting some world-beating record, your main objective is to be able to get through with the least amount of problems that you can have. I've never had a flat. Think about that as far as on a long race. I did the Tour Divide on these tires, never once had a flat. I just did 1,024 miles on the RAT with these tires, not once did I have a flat. I do a couple of things that are different than most. I use 2.5 wraps of tape, on the inside, and I put about 6 ounces of orange steel in there as opposed to 2 or 4 ounces. The tires are a bit heavy, but I'm telling you, no problems whatsoever. They hold up as good as any tires can possibly hold up, and that's the key. They roll well, they're just great tires. Also went with a wall fork. When I did the Divide, I did the Divide on just basically a rigid fork, but this let-off is really pretty cool. It gives you all the benefits of rigid. There's nothing to really repair or any maintenance you have to do on it. It's just an excellent fork to take just a little bit of that washboard out. Which really makes it easy because there are some roads on the RAT that has quite a bit of washboard on it. So that was my bike setup. It's a steel frame Spot, pretty simple setup, really dependable, really durable, and not a whole lot that could go wrong with it anyway. If anybody has any questions over anything else on the setup itself, feel free to contact me by email or you can call me. I'll be glad to discuss that with you. Next thing that we got to talk about, I guess, is the electronics, navigation, things of that nature, and the accessories that I put on the bike. A couple of things I did. One is I always use a bar yak. Tina and Joe make a great product here. This gives me the opportunity, to rest my hands this way sometimes as opposed to being on the handlebars. I also can get over the handlebars kind of more in an aerial position when I'm going on a long climb or something of that nature. I've got the grips up here I can kind of hold on to. So it just gives me some different hand positions, and even with that, my hands are still numb. So it's one of those things you need that. It really is lightweight, and it also allows me to hook a lot of things up that make the ride a lot easier. So that was one of my main accessories. I carry a Garmin Verb XE camera, very simple to use. With a card, a micro SD card in there, you can get more video than you possibly need. So that's a pretty unique thing to have. It also takes pictures and it's really easy to use. And then I use a K-light. I used that on the Tour de Five the entire time. And I used it this time, no problems whatsoever. So the sun hub in the front basically generates electricity while you're pedaling to run your light. In the daytime, when you're still generating electricity, but you don't need to run your light, I have a little switch I can switch over, and it will go through a little pass-through battery I have in here. And this battery keeps my Garmin and keeps my phone charged all day. So by the time the night comes and I need the light, when I switch it over, the battery's charged, my Garmin's charged, and my phone's charged, so I can go all night and not have to worry about plugging in. A really, really great system. Kerry State over in Australia developed that, and it's about the best system I've ever found. So that's basically the lighting system that I use. I use the Garmin 1030s. They're pretty good GPS systems. Do everything I need to do. I had a little bit of problem with one, but I'll explain later why I probably have that problem. But I also use Bike Bag Dude. A friend of mine in Australia makes the bags. I use the gas tank that he makes to keep those things that I talked about in, and I use the chafe bags to kind of keep, they insulate the bottles a little bit better. I use insulated bottles on the front, which was a good thing. Next time I'd use insulated bottles everywhere because the water gets really hot really quick, especially in June. What else did I have on here? Let's see. That basically covers. Bag system, I carry a jerry can, I carry a seat bag, and I carry basically a handlebar bag with the gas tank. And I told you, like in the gas tank, I carried basically all that was in here was just that pass-through battery in my phone. And then obviously I keep a little, this basically tells me town to town how far I got to go from one town to the next. I prepared that before I left on the trip, and then I made some notes at areas I wanted to be extremely careful with as far as supplies go. So I always have that. That's really handy for me to go ahead and check on things. As far as the jerry can bag, what I basically carry in here is pretty simple. I carry, this is all my hygiene stuff. So a small toothpaste, a small toothbrush, really easy, simple to use. That way I can keep my teeth brushed. Carry some lip balm, basically, some Carmex. These are really, really handy. They're basically camp soap, 50 sheets. They're pretty easy for you to kind of clean yourself up with. Just a little bit of deep woods repellent, eye drops, and these little towelettes are pretty cool. Combing towelettes, they look like little Rolaids towelettes. You put them in water, they open up, you can wash your face, kind of clean yourself up when you don't have a place to do that. And then some biodegradable toilet paper that you can get at pretty much any sporting goods store or sporting goods department like Walmart or Cabela's or any place like that. Pretty easy, but basically I was able to carry everything that I need in this little area right here, and it makes it pretty simple. It's not one of those things that it's hard to get the stuff in and out of, and you've got everything you need at your fingertips. So this is basically the way that I do all my hygiene stuff each and every time. I've got it all in one place and it's easy to get to. The backpack, on the top of the bag, first of all, I always have, this is where I carry my spot, on the top. Bear bell, you might be laughing about that. This is good luck from Tour de Five. I felt like I made it through that race in one piece, so I carry the bell with me all the time anyway, hoping that I'll make it through every race in one piece. So I'll put that on the top, and then inside the bag itself, I didn't really have to carry a whole lot this time. You prepare every time. You kind of prepare for whatever type of race you're doing, and this race is a lot different than a Tour de Five race. So we pretty much have the RAT set up. Kevin has it set up in such a way that you've got towns no more than 50, 60 miles apart. You've always got a hotel somewhere that if you really needed to stay, get out of the weather, something you could. So I carried for this time of the year. It was June. The worst thing's going to happen to me probably is rain, and you have to worry about cold much. So I carried a Shower's Pass, a lightweight rain jacket, which worked out pretty well for me. I carried a little pouch that has basically a pair of shorts and a t-shirt in it. So if I ever got to a town I wanted to wash my bibs and my stuff and something, I'd have something to put on. I could do something to eat or walk around the hotel. This is important to me. I carried a little pack of Goo products. Goo's one of my sponsors, and they make some awesome products, although it's not possible to have Goo every day. But there's some things in here like some strudel waffles, coconut waffles. I have some Goo chomps in here, and then I have some recovery drink that is awesome. I mean, really, really awesome. So if I get stuck and get to a town at night and I didn't get there where anything was open, I still have a recovery drink. If I'm out on a long stretch somewhere and I ran out of food or I need some quick energy, I have a waffle or I have some food chunks. It's always nice just to have a little something that you're prepared to use if you need to use it. Let's see what else I've got in here. A pair of all-weather waterproof gloves. Only reason I needed those is sometimes it gets really cold when it's raining. Even though it might be 70 degrees and you're soaking wet, it gets a little bit more chilly than you think. I carried a Soul Escape Bivy. This thing is waterproof and windproof. It's really nice if you get caught somewhere, you gotta spend the night outside, you can crawl inside this thing and it'll take care of you, especially in June. You got no problem with that thing. It'll keep you nice and warm and keep the mosquitoes and everything off already. The whole bag actually comes off this thing, which is pretty cool. I carried a bladder. I probably wouldn't do that again, but I thought, there might be some areas where I might not be able to carry enough water, so I carried this bladder. I didn't really need it. There was really an area that I needed that. And then I carried a little trauma pack, again, in case something terrible happens. This is a quick clot, stop bleeding fast kind of deal. Very lightweight, easy to carry. And in this, I just have a little put together, very simple, first aid kit. It's got some triple antibiotics in it, some allergy medicine, maybe some Tylenol, some Advil, things of that nature, some Band-Aids. Nothing major, just a couple of little things that you can treat some minor injuries with. And then, obviously, I carried here a couple of things that I carried, to take care of your rear when you're traveling, some Desitin, things like that. If I were to get some problems down low, I'd have something to take care of. And last but not least, I had a little repair kit. In my repair kit, I kept it pretty simple. I didn't put a lot of things in here, because I don't need a lot of things with this. I had an inner tube. I had and I really probably wouldn't carry this again either. I had some orange steel sealant. I had a couple of basically a couple of these CO2 cartridges so I could just get it with air real quick if I needed to. A couple of patches, just in case I ran into a situation where I really cut my tire and I had to use a tube. And then I carried just a little skeletal, just basically got pliers, knife, and all those kind of things. And I also put in here, which is something some people think is kind of crazy, but I put a little golf tee, and on the golf tee, I basically put a roll of monster tape. That monster tape comes in handy if you got to hook something to your bike, you got torn off or something like that. So this was nothing more than a little repair kit. Never needed it, not once, which is a good thing. And then up front, things that I carried up front are pretty simple. I had some mosquito repellent. There's a couple of areas out there in the canyons where the horseflies are terrible. So a little bit of repellent is pretty good. And this side I had some good electrolyte tablets. Those are really pretty good. You just take 2 or 3 tablets as many times a day as you want. Kind of with the water, it kind of helps keep your electrolyte level what it needs to be. Inside here, a couple things. I had one of these Hydroactive Max. They're supposed to stay cooler than most. They really don't work as good as you think, but you can soak this thing down and put it around your neck or put it over your head when the sun is really beating down on you. Here's some blood paste basically that you can use from time to time. I carry a little wallet. In this wallet I don't have much. I have a copy, not my real, but I have a copy of my driver's license, my concealed carry, and my insurance. And then I have one credit card that I use and a little bit of cash. The credit card is I can move money on and off of it from my phone anytime I want to, so I don't keep very much money in there in case somebody were to take it and steal this thing from me. Also, in here is a little iPod kind of thing, where I could listen to music. A couple of Sticks lights. They're very lightweight, inexpensive lights that are pretty cool. And a pair of reading glasses because I'm getting old. Some suntan lotion, which I went through quite a bit of. This is pretty cool. This is actually a backpack. And it's really a pretty cool backpack. It's a Sea to Summit. You can open this thing up, it weighs nothing. If you're going to be on a long stretch or you're going to get to town late, you're not going to have food, you can stop somewhere and get a bunch of food, put it in this and carry it with you. So you got some instant storage, but you're not going to have much room on your bicycle to carry anything. And then I have a little bit of an electrical pack here. This electrical pack is nothing major. I carry an extra Garmin 1030 in there, a light stick. And then I carry this is what you call AO lights. This and a little battery right here weigh absolutely nothing. This thing can go for about 7 hours, extremely bright. You never know if that hub is going to go out and you're not going to have any lights able to travel at night. So I keep that as a backup. And then anytime I want to plug and charge any devices, I've got this where I can plug it in a hotel and charge every device I have all in one thing. So that's a pretty simple little kit that I carry there. And a lot of people might think I'm crazy, might not agree with this, but I do carry a small 357 lightweight revolver. Never in 32 years ever pulled that gun, never used it for anything, but I always have it there. I don't worry about animals and things of that nature, but sometimes people are not as predictable as animals, and so I've always got it there in case something really happens. Never has, and I hope it never will, so that's one of those things I just feel better having it. That's the way it is. Also carry a little lightweight, not very expensive, not very heavy duty cable with a lock on it. If I have to go inside a store or something like that, this gives me an opportunity to lock my bike up. It's not going to stop anybody, obviously, from stealing my bike, but at least it makes them take the time to get some wire cut or something like that. Hopefully I'll be back out by the time they get back. As far as my kit goes, a Rudy helmet. These are one of the really good helmets, one of the better helmets I've ever had. Lightweight, awesome WinMax helmet. I love it. Usually there's a front back sticks light, a red white one on the front, a red one on the back, just like the red blinking sticks light I have right here. These things are USB charged lights, just plug them in, they charge. They're extremely bright LEDs. I mean, they really work good. And they're easy to use, they don't take a lot of energy, and they're right enough to let people see where you are. There's normally two on my helmet, but I'll tell you why that's not the case right now. I wear a pair of, I use basically S-Works mountain bike shoes. I wear them size and a half bigger than I normally do. Your feet tend to swell on long distance races. And so it's one of those things, somebody gave me that advice a long time ago. Probably the best advice they ever gave me. It makes it comfortable. Also got to put on a pair of waterproof socks or something. I've got plenty of room in the shoes. Rudy glasses, these are day-night kind of glasses. So if you go in some dark shade area immediately, they go to clear as they can be. If you're in the sunshine, they go to dark and they work really well. Well, they're very lightweight, not very heavy on your face. Little specialized cap. Sometimes I didn't wear my helmet. And then I used my Bear Mountain kit. I didn't carry anything but a bib and a jersey. Obviously my heart rate monitor kind of went under my jersey. So that pretty much is everything I carried on my bike. It was very simple. I didn't need much. It was June. The only thing I had to worry about was heat and rain. So I didn't need a whole lot on my bike, and that's pretty much all I carried. The tool that I need, I try to keep everything as simple as I can. If you need a tool on the bike, to tighten your handlebars or anything like that, I only have one tool. It's just this little SWAT tool right here. I've got it where it's mounted and hooks to the bottom of my water bottle, but it'll do everything from getting my wheels off, tightening my seat, tightening my handlebars. It'll do pretty much everything you need to do. So that's pretty much the bicycle. And again, if you guys have any questions on any of it, why I did what I did, or anything like that, if I didn't cover it well enough, just contact me. I'll be glad to talk to you about any of it. I would say, if I could give you one piece of advice, I would throw the every ounce count deal out. What counts is not having flats, not being broke down in the middle of nowhere. I can't imagine anything worse than having flat in the middle of the night when it's pouring rain. A couple of years ago, before I started using these tires, and I was playing that every ounce counts game, I had a flat and burning in the middle of the cold rain one time doing the RAT, and it was miserable. So I would say every ounce counts to an extent, but when it comes to having a flat, or the bike being light, a carbon bike is great. I race the Tour de Val and the Salsa Cutthroat, it's great. But if something happens to you, your race could be over pretty easily if you crack that frame in any shape, form, or fashion. And that's something I didn't want to happen, so that's why I love this frame. As far as the route goes, I think Cavin's done such a great job on this route. I don't think that, it's one of the most fun races I've ever done. And one of the most rewarding races I've ever done. I did it west to east, like I said. Now, I made a couple of mistakes. Doing it in June wasn't the greatest time of the year to do it. For the first couple of days, first 4 days actually, I never had a time on the bike when the temperature was probably below 134, especially in the canyon and in the desert. It's really hot. Also, going west to east in the summertime, you're going straight into a southeasterly wind the whole time. So the first 4 or 5 days, I was never not into the wind, which really slowed me down. I probably lost a day of time going in that direction. So those two things. And being a single speed, a lot of people are going to say, why'd you do it on single speed? I do everything on single speed. To me, it's especially for endurance racing, it's so simple. There's so few things to go wrong. it's just, for me, it's the best way to go. I have a very low heart rate, 35 beats per minute resting heart rate. Probably in this race, I never got my heart rate. Even on the climbs, I never got it over about 125. So, you know, you can give me all the gears in the world, I can't pedal 25 miles an hour for an extended period of time. I just can't get my heart rate high enough to get blood to my legs. So I'm more one of those guys that can stay on the bike for 22, 23 hours if I have to. But I can go, you know, keep it at 10, 12 miles an hour. This will do that for me. To climb, you just stand up and climb. You just got to gut it out. That's all there is to it. And on the road, you got to be patient. You know, you can't go that fast. I mean, you'd be like a gerbil bouncing all over the place. So you just got to kind of get into a rhythm. And for me, that's a pretty cool thing. Just get into a rhythm and ride and enjoy being out there. And again, Kevin set the route up in such a way that I really like it. There's 2 or 3 areas that you got to be careful of. I know most of you guys are going to be going east to west, but from my perspective, you know, there's a couple of places when you first start from the west. You got San John and only 25 miles, but then you got like 53 miles through when you're going out to get on top of the cap block before you get back to that Russell Travel Center. And that doesn't seem like a lot, and it's not a lot. You can do that pretty quick unless you're doing it in June into the wind. And it takes a little bit longer than you think to get back to that travel center. And then, after you fall for wind for a good bit of time, you've got another about 60 some odd miles before you get to Vega, where you're also back out in that heat again. You know, I carried 6 bottles, 4 on my bike and 2 in the back, 1 Gatorade, 1 water in the back. But the problem is, it gets so hot, that the water gets so hot, and you've got you've got a liquid, but man, it's terrible to drink out there. So you gotta be careful there. There's also a couple places from, when you go through Tule, Silverton down into Turkey, when you go through that canyon right there, that's even though it's only about a 30 or 40 miles, let me see what that is. I think it's maybe 30 some odd miles, let's see. So I've got it from Silverton, 37 miles to Turkey. 37 miles is it, you know, down in the canyon. I mean, where you're down in the canyon, it's pretty hot, and there's a lot of climbing coming out there. The roads aren't great. So that was a pretty sketchy area. You know, make sure you carry enough supplies there. And then probably the area that I had the toughest time with was from Turkey to Estel. That's you know, that's only 45 miles. But there's a lot of areas there where you have a lot of sand, a lot of hike-to-bike kind of areas, and then climbing out of there, it really is a climb out of the bottom of that thing. Luckily there is a well down at the very bottom of that thing with a windmill that you can get some water from. It's pretty clean. I didn't even use a filter on it, but you could. Anyway, if you needed it, you can get there. But that area is going to take you a little longer than you think, so it's all weather dependent. You know, this time of the year it's pretty dry. I was very lucky. I've gone through there when it's pretty wet and it's miserable. So it's just a matter of, you know, what type of weather that you catch on that. And then the only other place was, you know, going to Holiday. That's about a 46-mile stretch. That's pretty long as well. So it takes a little bit of time for you to get to that area. In general, really, I mean, I didn't have any problem with the route. The route was really good. He chose some great areas. We're not on the road a whole lot, which is, for me, is great. There's some phenomenal gravel roads on this route. I mean, it's one of those things where you go, man, I've never had any more fun than I'm having right now riding my bike. There's also some areas out there where you like to kill Kevin. You feel like, Lord, if I ever get off of this, I'll be happy. So I think that's what makes it a great race. When you have a route that, you know, gives you all kinds of ups and downs. Great riding at night, some hard riding. There's everything you want. I mean, there's some good climbing, some good flat areas. There's some tough areas, you know, some hiker-bike areas, but all in all, a lot of wildlife, a lot of nature, and just a wonderful route. And I think it's very safe because there's so many areas where you're not very far from a town. You can always get to something if you need it. You have pretty much self-service pretty much the whole way. I will say, you know, and this is just from experience, for my race, all the way to Lake Arrowhead, I fought wind and sun, but that's all I fought. At Lake Arrowhead, I had something unfortunate happen to me, something that's really never happened to me in my life, and I hope it never happens again. But coming over the dam, a car coming around the corner, the curve, you know, one of the few sections where you have to get on the road. There's no way to get off good gravel. You got to get on this road to go around the lake, and then you get some great gravel in the Henrietta. But to do it, you got to ride around this lake on the road. And I had a car coming around the corner about 60 miles an hour, and he didn't make the turn. He hit me pretty hard. First time I've ever been hit by a car, and you know, the front headlight caught me in the hip. It basically spun my bike around. My pedal went through his door, and then when he and I hit the guardrail together, the back of his car threw me and my bike over the guardrail out into the concrete. The guy left me laying there. Luckily for me, there were a lot of good people that stopped and helped, and they finally caught the guy, which is great. He was totally inebriated. which is frustrating. But that's going to happen. You know, people, I tell my students all the time, if you ride a bike, you're going to fall, and if you ride long enough, you're going to get hit by a car. Unfortunately, that's probably true. I was very blessed in that not only was I not hurt, some big bruises, some cuts on my leg, and things of that nature, but I was able to get on my bike and finish. I rode another hour and a half or so to Henrietta and got up, and you know, a couple of days later, I was able to finish the race in under 8 days, which was, you know, I'm very blessed for that to have happened. But that's really, you know, and other than that, the last day was really miserable. From Paris to Texarkana, severe thunderstorms, a lot of rain, a lot of mud. That was about a 21-hour day on the bike to get to Texarkana and get it over with. But it was well worth it. Like I say, it was a wonderful race. I'll tell you this, you know, it's really easy. Sometimes I don't wear my helmet. A lot of that race, I didn't wear my helmet. This helmet's got a big old crack in it. You probably can't see it from there, but there's a big old crack across it from hitting concrete. So it was good, at least during that accident, I had that helmet on. Otherwise, you know, maybe I wouldn't have finished that race. But anyway, great route, a lot of fun. The RAT's one of the most fun races I've done. I think Kevin's done a great job preparing the route. No surprises out there. I mean, you just got to be ready to ride your bike. I would say make sure that you carry enough supplies. If you're going to do anything, you know, oversupply when it comes to food and water. The mistakes that I made were very common that we all make, even though we make them 2 or 3 times. We say we're never going to do it again, we do. You get to ride, and it's late, well, I'm going to make it to the next town. You get to the next town after 9 o'clock. Most of these towns are small towns, everything's closed. So there's no food. I mean, you know, I got to Paris at about 3 in the morning. Everything's closed. And I could have probably gone out on the way and found something, but there was nothing close to where I was going to stay. So you wind up going to bed with a deficit as far as calories go, and you get up in the morning and you start trying to eat calories and run at the same time. It's impossible to do. That's part of the reason that last day was so long. But you need to make sure that, you know, you're going to say, hey, if I'm going to get to this town late, then the town that is before the last stop, go ahead and grab a couple of things, you know, something that you can eat. For me, there's a couple of great staples, man. If I can get some fruit cups, if I can get some cheese pizza or something like that, I'm good to go. Always some type of recovery drink, like a chocolate milk or something at night, and a lot of water, I'm great. But if you just try to eat donuts and pies, you'll never make it. Those are carbs that are quick. You know, they kind of produce glycogen quick, but they're burned pretty quick too. If you can get some better carbs like fruits, things of that nature, or cheese and stuff, those kind of things will stay with you a little bit longer and help kind of get you through the night and into the next day. So make sure you take plenty of water. Water goes a lot faster than you think. You always say, oh, this will be enough water. 1 bottle an hour, that's great. It's only going to 40 miles. It'll take me less than 4 hours. Anything could happen. Rain, mud, anything could happen. A breakdown in your bike, and you might be out there 6 or 7 hours and only have water for 4. That'll take its toll in pretty quick. You can do it without food. You can't do it without water. So you don't want to get out there and be in trouble. Every time I've ever done this race in October, it's been awesome. The weather's been awesome. No problem. So in the summertime, doing an ITT was a little bit different. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you need anything, if you have any questions, feel free to email me or shoot me a text, and I'll be glad to get back with you. I want to say thanks to Kevin again for providing such a great route, and thanks to you guys for so many people following me and cheering me on. Thanks to Gary and Avery. Man, that was awesome. You know, had the fire department ready for me in case I wanted to stay there. They had a hospital ready for me. Had several people stop me on the side of the road and say they were following me, encouraged me. Kevin stopped me in Oklahoma, said hello. So it was really great, and it's a fun race, and I hope you guys have a good, safe journey in doing it. I look forward to probably doing it with you guys in October from east to west. Thanks a lot.